Okay, so this is my spoiler-free review of The Haunting of Bly Manor. Let me just say, The Haunting of Hill House was my favorite horror show ever made, and it was a bright spot for that year on Netflix. I think season 1 is an absolute masterpiece and was a game changer. So, having said that, I had huge expectations for its follow-up in The Haunting of Bly Manor, knowing this is now an anthology series going under The Haunting. So it was exciting to see Mike Flanagan still the showrunner, helming this thing. But you have to understand this always happens with season 2, that in season 1 he directed and wrote every single episode. Here he wrote and directed only the premiere. That had me worried. However, the good news is I still really enjoyed this show. There's a couple things though you have to understand. One, I can't say much because they have some really strict things we cannot talk about in our spoiler-free reviews. So I'm gonna just gloss over and generalize some stuff for you. There's gonna be a lot of surprise actors in this, surprise how they fit into all of it, and you have to watch this twice. I watched this straight through the whole season and was incredibly disappointed, and I really actually didn't like it. And then I watched it again and it was a completely different show, because once you know what's going on, it like blows you away how well thought out it was. All the themes make sense, and it really is like vital. And if you don't like that you have to watch something twice and it's that layered, then don't watch this show. You're not going to like it, but you probably didn't like Hill House then either. So if it's something that you like that makes you think and makes you have rewatch value, it's this. But you have to understand when you watch it, you're going to feel feelings of emptiness, disappointment. You're going to expect Haunting of Hill House in a sense. It's different in many ways because it's not every episode centered on one character, let's say. It's a little different of a ball game, and the way they pace it's different. And a lot of things are going to take you by surprise, certain decisions they make, but it's not going to feel satisfying on first watch. I guarantee it. But if you watch it a second time, you're going to be really, really impressed. Now, what I will say is in this whole series now of The Haunting of Bly Manor does have the first clunker of an episode to me, an actually bad episode of television, which will be, I'll say it right now, episode 6 of season 2. I did not like this episode for many reasons, which you'll see in my spoiler review when that comes out. That was disappointing that there'd be an episode of low quality to me. However, there's not as consistently amazing episodes like Hill House had, but there's 2 Hill House level episodes of amazing, which is going to be the finale here and episode 5. Now, why that's encouraging is because one of the weaknesses of Hill House, a lot of people had a complaint, was the back end of the season and especially the finale. It's ironic now that Bly Manor, what it actually beat Hill House in is an amazing finale that to me knocks it out of the park. So that's a huge positive. What's a big disappointment in Bly Manor is it really isn't scary at all. And season 1 wasn't too scary, but it had its moments of terror and like horrifying, scarring stuff. This doesn't even really try too much at that. So that's another warning I have, is that if you really like Haunting of Hill House for its writing and for its character writing and themes, you're going to get that here and you're going to appreciate it and really have good feelings of emotion. But if you're really looking for like your scary horror show, it is not this. And if you thought Haunting of Hill House wasn't scary enough, you're not going to find that here either. But what you're going to find, again, is great writing, incredible acting all around. Every actor is good here. You're going to see new actors here that weren't in Haunting of Hill House. You're like, how do they find these people? They're also consistently good. It uses a lot of the same music, so it keeps a kind of nice tone throughout this Haunting series now, but it doesn't rely on it as a crutch. It separates itself enough. But there's also some over familiarity, like it being in a haunted house again. I'm not too crazy about that, and it seems a little too soon for that. And especially some of the interior looks similar to Hill House. But if you watch it on its own, it's still great on its own. Doesn't rely on Hill House. And yes, there will be some Hill House Easter eggs and some Hill House connections, but not over the top. So it's just right on that department. And it looks beautiful. And the makeup and hair and production design is incredible. Cinematography is just awesome. And it obviously really stands out in Flanagan's episode 1, the cinematography. But he's able to find other writers who are able to pull off writing really well, which is so hard to do. And that's what worried me, but it's satisfying. No, it is not as good as Haunting of Hill House. But who thought it would be? That's such a high standard to live up to. But it's a really good second act. And you know what? Most shows season 2 suck and are real disappointments. I mean, just look at Westworld. I mean, Westworld season 1 to me was a masterpiece, like Haunting of Hill House season 1 was a masterpiece. So to have now a masterpiece show have a really good season 2 makes me happy enough, where Westworld was like, it went from masterpiece to garbage. So having this not be garbage is great. And it's gonna give this its upside of this might end up going down as the best anthology series ever made and one of the most consistently good series ever made. So I'm really happy in that. So I'm giving this season as a whole 9.2. I can't wait for you guys to see my spoiler review of the whole season, and I will also have each episode review cut up for you guys, so if you just want to watch by episode. Again, I love Haunting of Hill House. I love The Haunting as a series now. I really dug this season. Just lower your expectations a little bit, and you must give it a second watch and understand the first watch might feel like a chore and a little empty, but you're gonna get such a reward if you stick for it for a second watch. It's a totally different experience. It's essential. Let me know if you're excited for this, what you're expecting, any theories you got going in. I'd love to hear your thoughts. I read every comment and try to respond as many as I can. Please make sure to subscribe so you don't miss any of my reviews. And again, so you can see right when that spoiler review comes out in my episode by episode breakdown. I also do celebrity interviews as well, so you don't want to miss that. And if you like what I do here, please, if you can, sign up for my monthly donation of only $2. This will let me be able to do more videos for you guys in the future and do this full time, and it would really help me, and I appreciate any support I can get. And please follow me at Steve Varley Show on Twitter and Instagram for more of me, and I'll see you next time.